managing that attention also and making it relatable to the consumer brings us back to shared experiences. And Chris, I talked to you about the creative challenge to work within different narratives that are familiar. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is something anybody can relate to, but just kind of on a creative note, always challenging myself to go beyond what I think of as preconditioned narratives. And I think if you're kind of analyzing your own socialization, if anybody can ever even really do that, you recognize that you're accustomed to accepting certain kinds of narratives, and publishers and brands and even ourselves. We're used to throwing out these kinds of narratives, and we do it on our LinkedIn profiles, we do it on our Facebook profiles, we tell people selected things about ourselves to put forward a certain narrative about ourselves, and that's both good and bad. But in storytelling, sort of from a creative point of view, I'm always trying to make sure that I'm not just relying on those narratives. Like there's those classic stories of redemption and those classic stories of love and trial and all those kinds of things that I think we all know, and there's a reason that they're classic. But creatively, making sure that I'm not just relying on that, making sure that I'm pushing it a little bit further and trying to tweak it in some way that isn't just sort of borrowing from the history and the legacy of a story.
So you're not redoing Romeo and Juliet, but you're taking that classic love story and tweaking it and putting it through a creative filter?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There's a reason it works. It's because people experience love in this somewhat universal way. I mean, it's obviously nuanced, but these classic tales hit these common notes for all of us. But I think good storytelling takes those common notes and keeps them in mind and brings them into new places. And so I'm always very concerned with not just relying on that. And it's a really hard thing to do with brands, because there's a reason those are classic tales and classic themes, and they work, and people are going to respond. But just for me personally, trying to move it in a different direction and not just redo Romeo and Juliet.